introduce myself.
But I agree with you.
My name is Glen Hockley. Glen Hockley. And I just want to let you know, Hockley, like the movie Titanic, the villain in the Titanic movie, that was a sad, sad story. Really sad. She sang. She definitely sang. But it wasn't all bad, because everyone went down on her and she was extremely ecstatic. There's something, all you guys at the bar there, have you ever read the book on etiquette for stand-up comics? By the way, I just want to know, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a physician, a detective. I just want to know, how is everybody? Is everybody good? All right, okay. That's great, as they say in the trade, humor me. Oh, I love it. Well, I grew up in the neighborhood near here in Marble Hill. I grew up over at 225th Street off of Broadway. And I was the token Jew in that neighborhood. Everybody was from Ireland. My friends were Finbar, Q, Brian, Sean. And I can remember, growing up in the streets, I became streetwise. It was the best education for me. And I remember my parents took me to a local restaurant which doesn't exist anymore. It was pretty well known in those days, known as Donaghy's Steakhouse. And it was right on Broadway. And we sat there with my parents. I was about 9, 10 years old. And sitting in the corner at a table by himself was Father Joseph. Father Joseph was sitting over there. And I said, "Hi, Father Joseph, how are you?" And he said, "Glenn, my boy, I'm doing just fine." And my father, I thought he was going to fall off the chair. My mother's chin was going to hit the floor. I got to tell you, it was unbelievable. And my father said to me, you don't talk that way to Rabbi Moish. You're not that friendly with him. What's going on here? And I said, well, Rabbi Moish, he doesn't play curveball with us. He doesn't hang out with the guys on the street. And I said, that's why we have a friendly relationship. And would you believe it, a week later, we're playing curveball, and Father Joseph is over on the third base, and over comes Rabbi Moshe. He comes over, and I want to be a good little boy, and I want to introduce him to the priest. So I introduce the rabbi to the priest, and I'm in earshot. I walked away to give them their privacy, but I could hear them. And Father Joseph says to the rabbi, "By the way, my boy, I just want to ask you something, Rabbi. I understand you fellows don't eat pork." And he said, "No, we don't." He said, "You've never tried pork?" And he said, "Well, I tried it once or twice. It's all right." And then the rabbi thought about it and he said, "Father Joseph, can I ask you a question? You guys in the priesthood, you are celibate, correct? You're celibate." He said, "Absolutely." "You mean you've never, ever had an affair with a young lady?" "I've dabbled a little bit." And I saw the rabbi thinking, he said, "A lot better than pork, right?" How's the food here? Food's pretty good? Yeah, it's pretty good, huh? The beer pretty good? Is the beer pretty good? I hear the coffee sucks. I hear the coffee, somebody told me, tastes like dirt. I told them it was just ground yesterday. I was standing outside and I asked this lady before she came in, "Is the coffee here as good as Victoria's Secret per cup?" And she slapped me in the face. Can you imagine that? But political correctness has gotten out of hand. It really has. It's gotten really out of hand. You don't even know anymore, even in sports. Political correctness is involved in sports. I mean, you take the team of Washington Redskins. The Washington Redskins, big controversy, and I could understand it's insensitive at the least. I got the perfect remedy to solve the whole problem. All you got to do is change the logo. You change the logo to a Redskin tater. That's it. Just a Redskin tater. And that takes care of the whole problem. You know? But, you know, that's political correctness for you. You know, you don't even know what bathroom to go to anymore. Used to have the couple of stick figures, the man, the woman. Now you got transgender, transvestite, transsexual, transatlantic. I mean, I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. You got different entrances. And I'll tell you, there are a couple of political protected classes that are not protected. A couple of groups that are not protected. One is the people that eat too much. The people that are a little bit overweight. I got a perfect label for them. Trans fatos. You know, that's one. And then the worst is the little people. You know, they have a real problem with the bathrooms today. You know, the midgets, the dwarves, the teeny weenies, the mini-me's, the tiny tots. I mean, they go in the bathroom and they never come out. They go in the bathroom and they never come out. They sit down, choom, they're gone. Proof is, do you see any? But anyway, you know, it's amazing. You can't even say anything anymore. You can't say what you want, to who you want, when you want, and how you want. You can't say anything anymore. I mean, you know, I like an argument once in a while. I like a debate. I like to have, I don't even mind insulting somebody. You can insult me back. I mean, take this fellow right here. How are you, sir? What's your name?
It's a pleasure.
What's your name?
Norman.
Norman. Norman, could you stand up just for a second? Just stand up. I'd appreciate it. You got the perfect shaped head for the first human gift idea. Chia! But anyway, you know, it's amazing. I tell you, there's a guy over there in the corner. I love your hair. I like the way it twirls in and out of your nose and ears. You know? And it gives you an example of, you know, what insults can be like, you know. But enough of that. You know, my son, he emigrated to Israel recently. He made Aliyah to Israel. He became a rapper, a singer. Became a singer. Yeah, they call him 50 shekels. But you know, it's really something. You know, he gave me a fantastic gift. A fantastic gift. And the gift he gave me was Ancestry DNA, the test. It came back just as I expected. 98% Jew. And that's what I am. I'm proud of it. But it came unexpectedly 2% Neanderthal. 2% Neanderthal. Can you imagine it? Neanderthal. I was expecting Rosenthal, Leventhal, maybe even Wiesenthal, but it came back Neanderthal. What do you expect? And I had nightmares. Terrible nightmares. One of the nightmares I had was how I met my wife. Clubbing! Of course. And then another one was at my favorite delicatessen restaurant. The nightmare of a Neanderthal. Yeah, it was at the Katz's Delicatessen. They brought me my favorite sandwich. Yeah, a raw, but it was raw. A raw tongue sandwich. Big, thick, juicy tongue sandwich on rye with mustard. And every time I brought it up to my lips, and I licked my chops, it tried to lick me back. It was unbelievable. Oh my God. But, you know, I'm proud of being a Jew. I really am. But I don't like being called Jewish. What does that mean? I'm sort of a Jew? I'm Jewish? I'm kind of a Jew? I'm Jewish? I'm almost a Jew? I'm Jewish? I mean, are you Christianish? Are you Buddhistish? Are you Chinese-ish? I mean, come on, you know? It's unbelievable. You know, Jesus wasn't Jewish. If he were, he would have the Last Supper in a Chinese restaurant. But enough about my son's gift. My wife, she's fantastic. She's beautiful. I gotta tell you, she's a wonderful woman. She loves flowers. She loves roses, daisies, petunias. She asked me the other day, can she get a lilac bush? And I said, go ahead. And now when we go to bed, boy, does she smell terrific. But I gotta tell you, she thinks sex is the best on the holidays. You know how I found out? She sent me a postcard. But you know, it's really something. She's really something. I haven't talked to her in over a year. I didn't want to interrupt her. But you know, you guys have been terrific. You guys have been really a terrific audience. I really like it here. I met so many people already. Brian, Teddy, Antonio, Seth. Oh my God, there's so many people here I feel really good with. But if anybody here has $1 for a donation for charity, does anybody have it? That's fantastic. My wife's standing at the exit. Her name is Charity. Thank you very much. And as I always say, oy vey!
Yeah, make some noise for the oy vey one-man party! Yes, we're gonna keep